This is lesson 4-2, multiplication arrays, the parent help video for grade 3 everyday math. In this lesson we have a few vocabulary words to talk about. The first one is array. So an array is basically a set of dots with an equal number of dots in each column and an equal number of dots in each row. So in this case it's a 3 by 2 array. There are 3 dots or X's down and 2 across. Okay, and each of these numbers, so this 3 down and this 2 across, represent a factor in a multiplication problem. Should we try to solve how many objects are in this array? So this one factor would be 3, and another factor would be 2. Okay, and so it's the numbers. A factor is the number you multiply by. Those are factors. We'll just write factors and then we'll write numbers. Numbers you multiply. Numbers you multiply together. Okay? So what you do is when you multiply them, you would say 3 times 2 and you would get a product. Okay? And the product is your answer to a multiplication problem. In this case it would be 6. So it would be the answer to a multiplication problem. So those are important words for kids to know when they practice multiplication. And arrays can come, this is a small array, but they could actually be quite big, and they can be very useful in helping solve multiplication problems. So the things we want kids to know how to do, we want them to be able to use basic multiplication facts to solve multiplication number stories. We want them to use arrays like this to model multiplication. So if they saw something, it's 5 times 4, we want kids to say, okay, I can do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then be putting the objects in each row in each column so that they're all equal. They're 5 down times 4 across. Count them all up, they'd get 20. We want them to be able to model like that. We want them to write number sentences to model number stories. So if they read a number story, we want them to be able to figure out the actual number model. And we want them to model the turnaround rule for multiplication using an array model. So the turnaround rule would basically be 5 times 4 equals 20. It's 20. And also 4 times 5 equals 20. Okay, so that's using the turnaround rule to figure that out. So we can turn multiplication facts around to get the same answers. Okay, so how you can help with this at home? Please practice multiplication facts. Use flashcards. Just quiz kids. Have them work on multiplication worksheets if you want. But anyway, just that they can get extra practice with those basic facts is going to be the biggest help. Also, any way that you have that, a real life example that they can practice multiplication, this is also very important too. So as you're in the car, as you're driving, as you're in the house, you're getting ready for supper, you're talking at the table, whatever it is, just have kids becoming aware of multiplication when they can use it in their real lives. One last thing, please use these vocabulary words: array, factors, and product. Okay, because this is going to also help them get used to this language, and will also help with their basic math studies. And this is very important that they understand these things now, because as they get older, this is going to be what helps them build the foundation for that. So good luck. This is lesson 4-2, multiplication arrays, the parent help video for grade 3 everyday math.